as the summer rolls along, so too do the blockbuster movie sequels. Despite being shunned by most genre fans, Fantastic Four has somehow spawned a follow-up film, hoping to redeem itself in fans' eyes with the inclusion of the Silver Surfer. And as we all know, whenever a comic book movie adaptation is released, a game rendition is never far behind. A series of bizarre climate changes has prompted the Fantastic Four to investigate the cause. After a run-in with the Skrull, the world's first superhero family learns of the existence of the Silver Surfer, a mysterious figure acting as herald for Galactus, the devourer of worlds.
Enough cosmic energy has been released for him to feed.
For a simple story about four superheroes trying to prevent the end of the world, the plot manages to creep along at a snail's pace.
The power wielder is loose!
It's also painfully obvious how many non-movie related missions were crammed in just to provide the player with more to do. After decades of game design, it's good to know that developers can still rely on rock monsters to lengthen a game's life. Much like the X-Men Legends series, Rise of the Silver Surfer allows you to man a team of 4 heroes at once, with the ability to control each one at will. Obviously, because of the game's title, your choices are limited to Mr. Fantastic, the Invisible Woman, the Thing, and the Human Torch. Their special abilities are mildly varied, with similar attributes that cross over. For example, every character except the Thing has a projectile attack, both Johnny and the Thing have a charge attack that damages who's ever in their path, etc. With the exception of Reed, each character has enough effective abilities that you should find yourself cycling through them at will. Richards, on the other hand, has a bevy of stretchy attacks that aren't very interesting, and a grenade. Every once in a while, you'll come across an obstacle that only one of the 4 can overcome. Sue can use her invisibility to walk through lasers, and her telekinetic force fields allow her to throw boxes into control panels. Thing can bust through certain doors, Reed can reach higher switches, and Johnny Storm can fly over certain barriers. Eventually, these obstructions become all too familiar, though, as you drowsily circumvent one after another. It's no surprise that the Fantastic Four game allows you to play as each member of the team. What is surprising, however, is how stupid these characters appear to be. Reed Richards is supposed to be one of the smartest minds in the entire Marvel universe, and yet he doesn't know how to dodge deadly machine gun fire.
Surprise!
If one of the 4 dies, they will shortly come to and rejoin the fight at full strength. What this means is that when there's only one teammate left, you can run and hide until the others come back to life, completely removing any sense of challenge or strategy. In fact, the only real thought needed in the game goes into the upgrading process. In between levels, you can spend experience points boosting the character's abilities. However, you can never purchase any new ones, so you're stuck simply strengthening pre-existing powers that were there when you started the game. It should also be noted that PS3 owners have the option of tilting the 6-axis to perform the same moves that can be executed with the face buttons, making it yet another case of tacked-on 6-axis functionality. At the end of the day, Fantastic Four: Rise of the Silver Surfer tries to straddle the line between the depth of the X-Men Legends series and the combat of a simple brawler. But because of this lack of focus, it barely accomplishes either.
Oh, you don't know how right you are.
Visually, Fantastic Four is fantastically bland. The game will hardly push your next-gen console. Everything from lighting effects to textures appear flat. Also, the pre-rendered cinemas almost look worse than the actual gameplay. Every character looks like they walked straight out of the California Raisins Christmas special. In addition, the levels are designed pretty poorly. Essentially, you'll play 1/3 of a level and then discover that it just gets repeated 2 more times. The exception to this rule is a level in a military installation which seemed like it took 3 days to complete. Finally, any hope of playing this game with more than one person should be swiftly dashed. Once another controller is plugged in, the camera becomes totally unmanageable. Fantastic Four isn't bad in the sense that it's incredibly buggy or overly frustrating. It's just mind-numbingly mundane. And the thinly veiled attempts at character customization aren't enough to make the game any less boring. No one part of the experience, good or bad, will ever stick with you. The only thing you'll really remember about Fantastic Four: Rise of the Silver Surfer is how unbelievably forgettable it is.
Don't push it.